Good afternoon, and you're welcome. We're back with another episode of the Rashad Grove Show. So glad to be rocking with you today, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, catching us on MapQuest or MySpace, whatever it is, we're glad to have you. And make sure you go subscribe to the Rashad Grove Show. Subscribe to the channel, growing. Um, at a fast rate. Make sure you don't miss any of the episodes that drop on Monday afternoons and again on Friday afternoons. Our interview series where we dig into the archives and put up some classic interviews I've shot but never aired, and some newer ones that I'm doing with my current work. But make sure you subscribe and thank you all. Thanks to our executive producer, Brandy Lewis Grove. Make sure you hit her up for all your visual aid needs, flyers, all kind of expertise in that area. Hit her up, and my boy SP Methods if you need that fire to spit over, to sing over. Hit him up at SP Methods. Shout out to him as well. So today, another great weekend of the association has taken place, and I'm excited to be talking about it with you all. But today, I want to zero in and jump in on some topics that a topic that I've been hearing that I want to add my 2 cents to. And I want to speak about my top three MVP picks. Top three MVP picks of the league. Before I jump into that, I want to offer some caveats, some disclaimers, if you will. Um, uh, I've come to the conclusion that this is my list based on a lot of factors. One being you must reach the 65 game threshold, and that looks like it will cancel out Cade Cunningham. And this is the terrible part of the 65 game threshold rule that to get all NBA and MVP consideration, you must play a minimum of 65 games. And that was really to offer a corrective to load management. But now it's being used as a kind of a solution to a problem that it created, because Kate Cunningham is not load managing. He's not cheating the game at all. He suffered a collapsed lung last week after that collision, I believe, against the Wizards took place. So, man, prayers up and a speedy recovery to him, because he would definitely be in my top three rankings of the way how they were going as the number one team in the East, and him putting up unprecedented numbers and looking like the superstar that he is. And also, I have a few players such as he on the outskirts of the top three. And I believe one of those players has an opportunity, if all goes well. Didn't go well last night for the Celtics, as the Celtics lost to the Timberwolves, who don't have Anthony Edwards, who's nursing a knee. And this, before I get to my picks for in MVP, this is going to be an insane All NBA, because you have so many players who are having tremendous seasons competing for 5 spots. And now, because of injury, I don't know what Anthony Edwards' games played this year. I'm sure he'll hit 65, but K will be canceled out. Wimby could possibly be canceled out. Also, Joker, I believe he has one more game to miss. Nikola Jokic has one more game to miss. So it could be one of the most competitive All NBA seasons, all NBA teams ever, but also could be one of the most disappointing if some of the top players don't meet that 65 game threshold. And again, this corrective was for load management, and they should have thought about it like if a player is having an all time year and having a great statistical year, that there should be some leeway or be some optionality to make a change to that notion, because the Joker had a legitimate issue and he probably came back faster than expected because he wanted to meet that 65 game threshold to be considered to be an MVP. but that's neither here nor there. But it is. So I want to give y'all my picks for MVP this year, and I'm gonna make the case for all three of them as I see it. I haven't did a little research to try to impress the viewers this day and this week, but at the top of the heat, and it shouldn't be surprising because I've been raving about him for the last couple years, and I believe he's the best player in the league today, not only from a statistical standpoint, but his leadership and the success of his team. After leading OKC to the championship with one of the greatest years an NBA player has had in a long time, especially a guard. MVP, scoring champion, All-Star Game MVP. He won I believe, the Magic Johnson Western Conference MVP. Shea Gilgeous Alexander, and in some circles, Shad Gilgeous Alexander, has had an amazing 2 years. And I think his case for MVP solidified him. I thought just 2 months ago, it was all him and Joker. But that game they played against each other, when they go mano a mano, he takes it personally. And he ups his game to another level. And he's managed to be the best player in the league, in my view, and to have his team have the best record all year, and he didn't even have his main man Jalen Williams with him. Jalen Williams has been so much time this year, and I just think that SGA this year, to me, is becoming even more impressive than last year, because last year they were off to the races and front running. But what I enjoy about them this year is that they had to face some adversity, injuries. They had to go through even SGA's injuries. He missed about 10 games dealing with I forget what his ailment was, but dealing with injuries and being the hunted as the champion. And he somehow managed to weather those storms and perform at an epic level. And if he wins the MVP this year and wins another championship, we're going to have to move some furniture around when we talk about all-time great guards, scoring guards, and Shea just may be entering all-time great status. But listen to what he's doing this year. He's averaging 31.6 points a game, 6.6 assists, 4 rebounds, and his efficiency is still elite, 53%. And I saw a stat a week or two ago that says he shoots over 60% from the foul line and in. That means if he gets to that elbow, if he gets to those hash marks, you can book it. That shot he made to break Wilt Chamberlain's record of 20 games in a row over Anthony Edwards, I believe. Those shots, he's hitting 60% of those shots. And his defense on the other side of the ball is slept on. He's averaging almost a block a game. Saw a few weeks ago in that same game where he blocked Rudy Gobert, who's 7'3". Shea is a very good defensive player. And for him to break the 20 or more games scoring 127 consecutive games, scoring 20 points a game, that is an incredible feat. And think about all the fantastic scores we had in the league. The late, great Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Kevin Durant, who just passed Michael Jordan in all-time points. Shout out to KD. We've had George the Iceman Gervin, who has 4 scoring titles in his own right, who has to be in your top 5 of all-time flat-out great scorers. He often gets lost in the conversation. All these scores, even LeBron James, who got about 50,000 career points, he has never had 128 games and counting, 120, probably 130 now and counting, like Shea of scoring 20 points a game. This is one of those basketball records that may remain for a long time. So the case for SGA is they sit atop of the league as the best team with the best player, best organization. I still think he's the favorite for the MVP. Over, I think they're on a hot winning streak as well. Echo, how many games have the OKC Thunder won in a row?
The OKC Thunder are currently on an 11-game winning streak.
An 11-game winning streak. They've been rolling ever since he came back from that injury. He's playing with a different level of emotion, different level of force and power. And I see it. And everybody sees it that he's the favorite. I know you got your legacy picks, you got your new picks and all this, but we got to give it up to SGA as the best player in the league and favorite for MVP. But on his heels, like James Brown said on the Big Payback, Luka Doncic. Do you know that the Dallas Mavericks traded Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers? This year, this month in particular, is probably his best season of playing basketball. This is the best. How can I say this is the best snapshot of any of his amazing seasons of playing basketball. He's playing at such a high level. Think about Shea. Shea is always so consistent. He doesn't go too high or too low. But Luka had a bad December, and now we know, well, bad is relative. He still was getting close to 30. He was struggling from three-point line. Now it comes out that he was having some domestic issues with his fiance and his children, and nothing can take your focus away and make you not perform your best than dealing with family issues. And since he got those settled, the Lakers have been off to the races. They are playing tonight against of the Detroit Pistons, trying to get their 10th game in a row. And for people saying they wasn't playing people, they got rid of Denver. They beat the Rockets twice. They beat Orlando. They beat the Knicks. Quality teams. And I have them as the third best team in the West. And listen, if they get into a series with the Spurs, that experience has to play a part. I'm an experience over youth and talent guy. It has to be proven. I watched the young and experienced OKC 2 years ago lose to a more experienced Dallas Maverick teams led by this Luka Doncic. And Luka this year is leading the league in scoring. Let's pull up the stats. Let's pull up the stats for y'all. Just think I'm saying stuff. Luka is scoring 33 points a game, 8 assists, 8 rebounds, 33, 8, and 8. Recently coming off a 60-point performance against the Miami Heat, where he dropped about 41 of those in the second half. He already has 38 triple-doubles as a Laker, breaking Jerry West's franchise record for the most games in a single season with at least 35 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds. Now, he could have got all this, and the Lakers would have been going 500 or below, and he would have just been putting up some great numbers. But his numbers and his play have been affecting winning. The way how they re-strategized, built the offense around him, using him and Austin Reeves as the primary ball handlers, with LeBron James finishing the plays. And if you can keep LeBron getting 6 dunks a game, flying up and down the court, cutting, finishing, he could play 12 more years. But Luka is the engine behind the Lakers' success. 9 games in a row. Chances are they'll get 10. And that game against Orlando may have been the toughest out of them all. They looked tired. It looked like they was in the mud. They wasn't clicking. And Luka Nard, his confidence has to go through the roof because he was having some bad three-point shooting games. And I got to give credit to J.J. Redick, who's a master at creating plays from the sideline out of a timeout. You don't want to see the Lakers in the clutch because they play great situational basketball. See, that's why I think you just can't look over them in the playoff series because if it's close, you have great decision makers in Luka Doncic and LeBron James. I'm rambling a little bit. We got to focus on Luka. I got him as the second favorite to win the MVP. I see him. I think he leapfrogged uh, Nikola Jokic, who I have him on the outskirt. I have the Joker, Jalen Brown, and Cade Cunningham as the next three. But my two are SGA and Luca. And Luca, I got him sitting comfortably in the second spot. I don't know what he can do. If he has like 4 50-point games in a row or go on a streak and the Lakers don't lose, then we got to reconsider because they can't eclipse the lead that SGA and OKC Thunder has. He has some stats too. But I got him in a lot of MVP rankings on FanDuel and all the sites that we all check out will back me up on this. He is number two, the second favorite to win the MVP. He's having a tremendous year. And he's so nonchalant. All he got to do is not screw up. They rescinded that technical foul for him and my man from Orlando was having this argument in Slovenia, in the Slovenian language. They was letting each other have it. But they rescinded the technical foul, so he won't be suspended, and they'll play tonight against the Pistons. But I got Luca as number two. And yeah, Luca is right there in the mix. And number three, Victor Wembanyama. Yeah, I got him right there in the third spot. Victor Wembanyama is leading this team with passion, and I'm just so stunned that they're this good this fast. I had them getting into play, and they are the number two ranked team in the Western Conference, and I believe they have the second best record in the league, or tied, following the OKC Thunder. And what he's been doing this year, and sometimes I'm a little off on him because I don't like how they're making him the greatest player ever already. And you got to prove these things. He hasn't been in the playoffs. He hasn't been in the series where they're beating him up for 7 games, the same team. He hasn't been scouted as closely as he'll be scouted. And those players he's playing with, except for Harrison Barnes, has really been under the white hot lights of the playoffs. I got to see that for myself. But what I can't deny is his phenomenal play on the defensive side of the ball, averaging close to 4 or 5 blocks a game, 25 points, 11 rebounds, 37% from three. Dog, he changes the whole perspective of the game. When he's out there, he covers so much ground. And he just hit his first go-ahead winning shot against the Suns. The sky is the limit down there in San Antonio. I got him as my third favorite in third place for the MVP. Now, if they go on a phenomenal run, knock OKC out, I don't think they have enough time or games left in the season. It's probably about 10 to 12 games left in the regular season. They can't eclipse the Thunder. So he'll have to really do some really incredible things to usurp SGA and Luca, in my opinion, to get to the number one spot. But this is his third year, and he's had an incredible year. But he's on that one. I think he is only allowed to miss one more game to reach that threshold. And if you know the history of the Spurs, they're not too concerned about that individual. So they try to keep them fresh. They mess around, keep them out the last 4 games of the year, because they created all this load management stuff that a lot of us load. We get that right from San Antonio. But Wemby on the defensive end is such a game changer, man. I'm just watching him chase down and defend and be the ultimate support system for those guards. Now, because of his defensive prowess of protecting the rim, they can gamble, they can get out of transition, they can guard one-on-one close, they can be more physical because Wemby's back there. Yeah, this year, 24.3 points per game, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks. Incredible year. Incredible year. Second seed in the West. Incredible year. As I said earlier, the Lakers are surging. OKC surging. It's a lot happening in the playoffs. Uh, as the playoffs approach, I'm watching those young Bulls out there, almost the opposite of what this, almost the Eastern Conference version of the Spurs is the Hornets. And the Hornets, man, that coaching job down there that's being done. I always forget his name. Echo, what's the head coach of the Charlotte Hornets?
Charles Lee is the head
Charles
coach
Lee.
of the Charlotte Hornets.
Thank you. Charles Lee's doing a phenomenal job. Early in the year, they're talking about trading Melo. Now, Melo's looking focused. He's playing great with Don Knipple. He's got Raymond Miller down there. He plays mean. So the East is interesting as well. You got Harden, Cleveland, got the Knicks. Jason Tatum's coming back looking like he hasn't really missed a beat, and he still has time to improve. So the playoffs are going to be incredible this year to watch. But when those ballots come out and you see the top three being SGA, Luka Doncic, and Victor Wembanyama, make sure to tell everybody where you heard it first, right here on the Grove Show. Listen, thank you for being with me again. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, like, follow, comment, leave the commentary, even your nasty comments. I respond to them too, and I'll see you when I see you. But thank you for being with us, and as always, you're welcome.